So this story is about a guy who, right after awakening, becomes an ultra-legendary summoner who can summon humans. The very first person he summons is someone who's completely insane, and because of that person, the entire world goes completely crazy over the MC, and our MC, who is totally introverted, poor guy, ends up getting his life completely messed up while having to deal with everyone. To find out what happens to him next, let's start the story. But before that, please don't forget to like, comment, and share the video. Do subscribe to the channel and also hype the video, because the more reach the video gets, the sooner the next video will come. So let's start the video. The story begins in a dark alley where a boy is walking while wearing a hoodie. Behind him, two people are sitting there making fun of him while he walks through the dirty alleys holding a plastic bag in his hand. He says this is the studio district, which is getting dirtier and noisier day by day. And I'm still stuck inside my tiny rooftop home that's only 180 square feet. And tonight again, I'll be eating ramen for dinner. Thinking this, he's about to take off his hood. This is actually our MC, whose name is Wong. He's 25 years old. He doesn't have any proper job, yet he keeps bouncing between 3 part-time jobs like a convenience store, a BBQ joint, and day labor. And even after working all day like a mule, he still hasn't managed to save a single penny. And the simple reason for that is debt. The debt he has to repay here. No matter how much it hurts, he still has to pay it off. But I don't have any special skills, I just work all day. So there's no bright future waiting for me ahead. I'm just a mediocre bottom feeder. Thinking all this, he's about to enjoy his ramen when suddenly a window pops up in front of him. Written on it is that Wong has now awakened. As he looks at it in confusion, he completely forgets about eating his ramen and starts shouting that it's hot and it's hot. The poor guy burns his mouth. But even then, he keeps staring at the status window in front of him, totally confused. Awakened. Me. Then we're told about awakening. Some people call it a blessing, an opportunity that can change your entire life, a jackpot that's way better than winning a lottery ticket. But there's just one thing. If you want to enjoy this, you really have to risk your life for it. Entering the tower is actually extremely dangerous. Thinking this, he becomes discouraged. After that, he explains that once you enter the tower, any monster can tear you to pieces. You could freeze to death, burn to death from the heat, die from poison, or get caught in a trap where death is waiting for you. And there are countless other things inside the tower that can kill you. These are all the keywords Wong has already thought about when it comes to the different ways you can die inside the tower. Because whenever he's seen any kind of injustice, to be honest, he's always just closed his eyes. And I'm someone who's willing to pay any price just to escape a dangerous situation. That's why I've never walked under a construction site. And that bottom feeder is none other than me, Wong, who's lived his entire 25-year life like this. But now I've awakened. Even now he has doubts about it. He says, did I really awaken? Or is it just that I'm so tired that I'm seeing weird things? To confirm it, Wong shouts, status window, and suddenly his status window opens in front of him, showing his stats along with his trial, which is summoner. After reading the details, Wong says this means it's completely real. And my trial, my class, is summoning. Then he explains about trials. Awakeners are granted abilities here, which are called trials. These range from swordsmanship, spearmanship, shield arts, archery, martial arts, fortification, heavy swing, summoning, healing, and many other types. And among them, summoners can summon spirits, phantom beasts, golems, demon beasts, and different kinds of creatures. Generally, they have the ability to command whatever creature they summon. He starts wondering what kind of summoner he is. What exactly can I summon? Since I've awakened now, why not try casting one of my skills? After striking a stylish pose, he says, skill summon. Then he starts feeling embarrassed. Random summon, but nothing happens. Seeing this, he says, yeah, of course this wouldn't work outside, because players' abilities, including skills, are only valid inside the tower. They can't be manifested in the outside world. However, they can check their status window anytime, anywhere. That's why players outside the tower are no different from normal people. And I really feel like a huge idiot right now, because anyone with an internet connection knows this. There's no way a skill can be activated outside the tower. But the very next moment, a status window opens in front of Wong saying that random summon is being initiated. Seeing this, he gets a little confused. A kind of light starts to manifest and begins taking shape, and after a short while, a man is summoned right in front of him. After seeing this, Wong's face is something else entirely. His face goes completely pale, and he honestly looks pretty funny. He says, stop, how did this even work? And the man who was summoned, saluting him, he says, yes, I'm a human. And Wong says, what kind of nonsense is this? I successfully summoned something outside the tower. And this isn't something normal like a spirit or a golem. It's a human. When that man smells the scent spreading around, his nose fills with it and he says, is this ramen? Can I take a bite? Wong says, sure. Seeing this, the man becomes really happy. His name is actually John. And looking at him, Wong says, out of everything, I ended up summoning just one almighty psycho. As soon as John starts eating the ramen, he just keeps slurping nonstop. He finishes the entire bowl in one go. Seeing this, Wong gets really annoyed because while eating, John says the flavor is insanely spicy. Wong thinks it feels like things like this taste way too spicy. But Wong is still really confused about how a skill could work like this outside the tower. And summoning a human is something he's never heard of before. So he opens his status window and it tells him about summon ranks, starting from R rank, meaning rare, all the way up to LSS rank, which stands for Legendary Special Super Rank. These are the grades, just like character grades in a game. Besides that, the summoned being is bound to the summoner by 3 laws. Hearing this, Wong gets confused and says, 3 laws? Then the 3 laws are explained. First, the summoned being must protect their summoner at any cost. Second, they must absolutely obey every single command of their summoner. But third, if there's any kind of conflict and the summoner's life is in danger, then the summoned being must ignore the second law and focus only on the first one, doing whatever it takes to save the summoner's life. Seeing this, Wong says, so he'll obey every word I say. That sounds kind of decent. But who exactly is this human I summoned? So he checks John's category. He finds out that John's grade is SR, a super rank, and that he's an assassin. His manifestation limit is 6 hours with a cooldown of 3 hours. John was the top leader of the Cruel Assassin Guild. Completely insane. Even so, his mission success rate was 99%. He had even cleared a 5th circle dark dungeon. Suddenly, John's final moments start entering Wong's mind. He says that a huge amount of information suddenly starts flooding into his head. He begins seeing flashes, and it feels like he's falling into someone else's memories. Then he realizes John is running straight toward him at full speed. Seeing this, he panics, but John passes right by him and Wong sees that this assassin attacks several people standing in front of him, easily slitting their throats and killing them all. After that, he takes ribbons and ties them over their faces. Wong trembles as he watches how John is packing their heads like gifts. Then John looks the other way and we're shown his final result the first time he ever failed. His assassination target was actually the strongest swordsman in the Empire. When John tries to attack him in his sleep, he realizes too late that it was a trap. The man suddenly appears from behind, attacks John, and kills him in one move by cutting him into 2 pieces. Those were John's final memories. Wong is still seeing all of this when John suddenly comes up from behind and says, memories. Hearing that, Wong panics and stumbles backward, crashing into his computer, making it shake badly. John says, sorry, I just wanted to ask if you have any orders for me. Wong is really scared. He tells himself there's no need to be afraid. From the start, it's been clear that a summon will absolutely follow every command of its summoner. So he takes a deep breath and says, John, quickly clean up the ramen pot and the table as well. John replies, understood, and immediately finishes both tasks and stands there. Seeing this, Wong says he's really fast and he didn't even complain. But Wong is still very curious whether John will really do everything he tells him to do. So Wong makes a slightly strange request and asks if he'll do it. John says, I will obey every word of my summoner without any conditions. Hearing that, Wong says, if that's the case, then act like a dog for me. When John hears this, he freezes in place for a moment. Seeing that, Wong starts trembling and thinks, I've crossed the line. This guy was a powerhouse in his past life. His pride must have taken a serious hit. What if he suddenly attacks me? But the very next moment, John starts spinning around and barking like a dog. It's honestly pretty cute. Wong is still shocked. And giving a thumbs up, he says, yeah, he's really obeying everything. Just then, there's a knock at the door. Wong gets a little confused. A voice from outside says, Wong, are you inside? Open the door quickly. Hearing this, Wong panics and says, right, I completely forgot. Today's the day I have to pay the interest. So he quickly tells John to get up. Then he explains that he had borrowed 10 million yuan. No bank was willing to lend him money and he was desperate. That's why he went to a loan shark. Actually, my father slipped on ice and fractured his hip. I needed money for his surgery and I also needed money for my younger brother's college tuition. So I had no choice. I thought I'd be able to pay all of them back quickly, but I haven't even been able to touch the principal yet. On top of that, I've already paid them more than 5 million yuan just in interest alone. And if I'm being honest, that was a really stupid move. But what else could I do back then? I didn't have any other option. And even if I could go back in time, I'd probably make the same choice again. Meanwhile, the voice from outside keeps coming. The man shouts, John, come here and show me your face properly. I just want to see if you're completely fine or not. Hearing this, Wong calls out to John, and John cracks his knuckles and says, give me the order quickly. I'll go slit their throats for you. Seeing this, Wong panics and says, no, you absolutely must not do that. Then he pushes him and says, hurry and hide in the bathroom. Don't move a single muscle, keep your mouth shut, and don't make any noise. Hearing that, John asks, but can I breathe? Wong says, of course. John replies, that's honestly a huge relief. As soon as Wong opens the door, the man grabs him by the collar and says, Wong, you look pretty healthy to me. So why hasn't the interest reached my account yet? I thought maybe you were sick or something happened to you. Wong, terrified, keeps his head down and says, please forgive me, I forgot, I'll transfer it right away. The man says, you don't need to stress so much. If you're really in a hurry, you can always sell one of your organs and pay me. Living with just one kidney isn't that hard anyway. Then another man says, this kid also has a younger brother. Hearing that, he replies, even better. The younger he is, the more money he'll bring in. After hearing this, Wong gets really angry and glares at him. The man says, what's that look supposed to mean? Are your hands itching to hit me? But Wong can't say anything. Instead, he forces a weak smile and says, I could never even dream of something like that, boss. The man replies, good. Keep yourself in check unless you want to see your soul leaving your body. Saying that, they leave. Wong lets out a sigh of relief, and then John comes out. He says, you're really good at hiding. Wong replies, just as you commanded. But suddenly, Wong feels extremely tired and he doesn't know why. I worked double shifts all day, then I awakened. Then I summoned a human. And right after that, those loan sharks showed up. To end this debt, I think I'll have to start climbing the tower. No, wait, forget it. Even if it's money, someone as cowardly as me would never survive climbing the tower. John asks Wong if there's anything he can do for him. Wong says there's nothing right now, but if you want to go back, I can resummon you later. John replies, if that's the case, can I watch TV for a bit? Wong thinks he has no idea how John even knows about TV or ramen, but fine, it's not really a problem. So he tells him it's okay. John starts watching drama episodes on TV while Wong lies on the bed watching along. Even though I summoned him, having someone's presence around doesn't feel bad. To be honest, it actually feels kind of comforting. I've always worked alone until I was completely exhausted. Thinking like this, Wong doesn't even realize when he falls asleep. The next day when he wakes up, he turns off his alarm and gets up, only to see that John is gone. His summon must have been released. Then he remembers that he checked his status window before falling asleep. He says awakening really is something else. Alright, let's get ready for work. Just then, a breaking news report comes on TV. Early this morning in Seoul, an illegal loan shark group called Ismail Cash was discovered. All of its members have been killed. Hearing this, Wong says, wait, did they just say Ismail Cash? The report says all the victims were beheaded. But the real shock is that every severed head had a ribbon tied on it. As soon as Wong hears this, he freezes. All of them were beheaded and they all had red ribbons on them. John's memories flash through his mind and he says in disbelief, there's no way this was all done by John. Panicking, he grabs his head and starts screaming that I summoned a complete psychopath murderer. The TV shows the scene with all the headless bodies lying there. The man who had grabbed Wong earlier has all the fingers on his hand badly broken. All the heads are neatly wrapped and placed together. It's seriously creepy. Seeing this, Wong looks absolutely terrified. He says in panic, I'm completely screwed now. No matter how many times I look at it, it's obvious this was all John's doing. He keeps staring at the screen in shock when suddenly someone calls out to him. When he turns, it feels like the same man whose head was cut off is asking him, can you please calculate this? It looks horrifying. Wong panics so badly it feels like his soul is about to leave his body. Behind him, the rest of his companions' heads are also wrapped in place there. Terrified, Wong jumps backward, knocking things off the rack behind him. In the next moment, he realizes what he's doing. The girl standing in front of him asks if he's okay. Wong, shaken, says, please forgive me, I quote, I'll calculate it right away. After that, he leaves and walks around the road, saying to himself that I can't focus on work at all today. Tomorrow, I'll take a day off from all my part-time jobs because all the people who died were because of me. When he comes back home in the evening, he starts checking about John again and says that he really is a completely crazy assassin, but it's not like he can harm his summoner in any way. Still, he can't help feeling a little scared. Then he tries summoning John again. But before that, another pop-up appears in front of him, asking for the job satisfaction rating for John before summoning him. What kind of performance did he have? A star rating appears showing 5 stars. Seeing this, Wong says that a satisfaction rating in the category isn't really that big of a deal and it's just a star rating anyway. I only told him to watch TV, but he killed people without any order from me. I should just give him a single star and be done with it. Raising his middle finger, he says that's what he wants to give him. But then he calms himself down and says, no, I'm not that heartless. And he gives John 3 stars instead. He explains that his mother works as a rental water purification coordinator, so he knows very well how painful it is to receive a low satisfaction rating. So no matter how many complaints he has, he still can't give just 1 star. When John is summoned, he salutes and says, it's really good to see you again. And thank you very much for giving me 3 stars. I'll work even harder from now on. Seeing his innocent face, Wong thinks, is this really the same person who killed 3 people last night? Wong asks John about the people who came to his house last night. Did you kill all of them? John replies, you're absolutely right. Before leaving last night, I eliminated all of them. Hearing this, Wong panics again and stumbles backward. Just like I thought, this guy standing in front of me is the culprit. He's a murderer. Suddenly, his stomach starts twisting violently and his heart starts pounding, but he tells himself to calm down. At least it's certain that he can't harm me. Wong asks him, but how did you even find their office? John explains that he placed a mark of pursuit on them when that bastard came to your house. Wong thinks, mark of pursuit? Is that some kind of skill? Then he asks, but why did you have to go that far? John says that they were a serious danger in the future, so he thought it was better to eliminate them early on. Wong says, but I never gave you any order. John replies, yes, but do you remember the third article of 3 laws of the summoner? Then Wong remembers the third law, that if anything happens to the summoner must ignore the second law and follow only the first law. In other words, absolute obedience can be ignored if there's a threat to the summoner. Wong says, for example, if I'm the summoner and I tell you to kill me, would you obey that? John replies, absolutely not. Wong says, so you wouldn't kill me. John says, you're absolutely right. But Wong says, actually, I wasn't in any real danger from other people. Was this your own judgment? John replies that it's true the third article is written very carefully, and from his perspective, those guys really were a serious threat, and they even tried to intimidate the summoner. So before one day they became a much bigger danger, he thought it was reasonable to eliminate them. Wong says, how can you really think like a psychopath? Then he calms himself and says, sorry. John replies, it's fine, I'm used to hearing harsh words like that. Wong thinks uneasily that he doesn't fully understand this, but it's definitely far more dangerous than it seems. He imagines walking down a crowded street with John. If he accidentally bumps into someone who looks like a thug, that person would probably say something threatening. Most of the time, people like that don't actually want to hurt you, they're just trying to scare you. But, according to John, the right response would be to slit their throat and tie a ribbon on their head. Thinking about this, Wong's face fills with worry. So, after all that, John suddenly kneels down and says, I was completely wrong. Wong asks, why did you suddenly kneel? Get up. He then explains to John that for him, killing people like this is absolutely not okay unless he's truly trapped in a life or death situation. John replies that no one can say for sure. Wong says, even so, you won't do anything like that. John snaps his fingers and says, I can't guarantee that. Wong's face goes pale. He says, promise me that unless there's a knife at my throat, you won't do anything like this. Killing people just because they might become a threat someday isn't acceptable. Before Wong can finish, John says, all right, I understand. From next time, I'll try to judge the situation more carefully. Seeing this, Wong lets out a long breath and says, that's a bit of a relief. Then he says, okay, you can go now. But John asks, Summoner, can I ask you something? Wong says, sure. John asks, aren't you going to climb the tower? Hearing this, Wong gets a little confused. Climbing the tower is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But to be honest, I'm really scared because it's an extremely dangerous place where I could die. So he asks John if there are other summoners out there too, people like him who can summon others. John says yes, there are, and all of them are really strong and more than that, much braver. Hearing this, Wong says he should be ashamed of himself. So many people are using their abilities to protect this world, while I don't even have the courage to put my own life at risk. So when John says, Summoner, if I'm being honest, Wong replies that he already knows he's pretty useless and very cowardly. But John, sounding excited, says, Summoner, you're actually amazing. Hearing that, Wong is shocked and says, what? John explains that the best thing a summoner can do is prioritize their own safety. Being a brave summoner, more than just a brave person, is actually very dangerous because you never know when you might die. And if something happens to you, we won't be able to return either. Wong thinks, oh, so that's how it's connected. John continues, so you don't need to worry at all. You can leave all the dirty work to me. So, Summoner, staying safe isn't a bad thing. Living a long life and dying only of old age is good. Hearing this, Wong feels a bit touched. But when he wakes up the next day, his eyes are badly swollen. He says he barely managed to get any sleep. All night he kept thinking about whether he should climb the tower or not. Anyway, what would climbing the tower even do for someone like me? Now I should just live my life properly. The debt has been completely settled with the lenders. From now on, as long as I do normal work, I'll be safe. And if I keep living like this, everything will slowly get back on track. Just then, his phone rings. It's his father on the other side. He asks about his rehab and also mentions moving to a bigger hospital, but then he tells him that his mother has been fired. Hearing this, Wong is even more shocked, but his father says not to worry too much about it. I just called because you haven't been in touch for a long time. Wong says he'll definitely come visit them next time. They'll eat together, and there's no need to overwork so much. After that, the call ends and Wong feels uneasy. Then he tries to make some kind of protective suit from construction site materials to keep himself safe. At the same time, he thinks he'll just go into the first floor, see what it's like, and come right back out. If it's too dangerous, he won't stay there for even a second. This plan should work well, especially since he took the day off from all 3 jobs today. First, he decides to summon John, but then he stops and thinks that maybe he doesn't need to rely completely on that crazy guy John. Why not try summoning someone else? Who knows, I might even pull a legendary special super rare rank. But when Wong tries to use random summon, it isn't available. For it to be available again, it needs to go through cooldown, which is about 28 days. Seeing this, he says, "What? There's a cooldown and it's almost a whole month." With no other choice left, he summons John again and says, "Thank you very much for the 5-star rating this time." Wong feels a little awkward and thinks, good thing he doesn't know I was trying to summon someone else. Then Wong tells him that he's decided to enter the tower. Hearing this, John becomes very happy and says, "You're really brave. I mean, not that you weren't brave before." Wong tells him not to think too much about it. "Anyway, I'm just planning to go in a little, see what's inside, and then come back out." John says that's actually a great idea, but now you can throw all this stuff away, because instead of all this, you're a summoner who summoned me, a hunting dog. I'll take you there safely and comfortably, and once we're inside the tower, you won't even need to lift a finger, not even one finger. Then Wong opens his system to enter the Black Tower. For now, he can only go to the first floor. So he asks, "Shall we go?" John says, "Of course." As soon as he clicks, they're pulled toward the first floor. It feels like being sucked into some kind of wormhole. Wong is extremely scared by this. He starts crying, and after struggling like this for a long time, since it's his first time, he keeps screaming non-stop. But even so, John brings him safely into the first floor of the Black Tower. As soon as they arrive, the entire environment changes. Seeing this, Wong says, "We're inside the Black Tower," but the first floor looks like a complete wasteland. Suddenly, he starts feeling nauseous and moves aside to throw up. Seeing this, John asks if he's okay and says he'll get used to it soon. John then says, "Let's move forward now. We need to leave the safe zone." He tells Wong to just follow him. The system informs him that his physical ability will now start improving as he levels up, and that his characteristics and combat skills can now be used here. Because of this, Wong starts feeling a strange energy inside himself. It feels like he's already become much stronger than before, and that feeling comes from being a player. Besides that, he's also told about the first floor mission. He has to defeat 5 thick-skinned fatty grubs. Looking at them, John says, "There they are." In front of them are several huge, fat, caterpillar-like monsters. Wong explains that the first floor is a place where players' skills are tested because the skin of these fatty grubs is extremely tough. Their concept is basically like a scarecrow. Their attack power is almost zero, but their skin is so tough that killing them isn't easy at all. Other players usually take more than 30 minutes to defeat them. Gathering a bit of courage, Wong says that now he's a player too, so he steps forward trying to kill the first one himself. Seeing this, John says in a worried tone that there's really no need for you to struggle like this. But Wong has already gone and stood in front of the group. Everything goes quiet, and Wong says that first, he needs a weapon. So he starts turning back to get John's weapon. But as soon as he turns, one of the caterpillars starts rising upward as if it's standing up. By the time Wong realizes what's happening, it's already fully upright and about to crush him underneath. When Wong notices this, he panics, looks up, and screams at John, "Please help him." Seeing this, John happily gives a thumbs up and says, "As you ordered." In the next moment, he uses Flash Step to get close and takes it down with a single move. Then he tells Wong to step back a bit. Using his first move, he launches all the grubs into the air. After that, he spins around, pulls out several daggers, and stylishly throws them at all the monsters. As soon as they hit, the daggers pierce straight into their bodies. John then comes back toward Wong in style and uses his second skill, Blood Explosion, instantly finishing them all as they explode like firecrackers. The scene looks incredibly cool and insanely intense. Seeing this, Wong is completely impressed. You wiped them all out instantly. With the first floor mission cleared, Wong levels up. As a reward, he gets a 100-gram magic stone. On top of that, he achieves an S rank clear, earning him a platinum badge. Seeing this, Wong says in surprise, "Was it really this easy? Maybe I'll get rich pretty fast at this rate." But the narrator explains that poor Wong, who's still completely new, has no idea what's happening elsewhere in the world. At the same time, all players in another world suddenly see a status window appear in front of them. They're shocked and surprised because they've never seen anything like this before, nor did they ever imagine something like this could happen. This status window appears in front of every player in Korea. After that, Wong exits the Black Tower and immediately returns home. He thinks, so we can come back right after clearing a floor. But traveling like this makes him feel sick again, and he says it only took about 5 minutes. John, looking proudly at Wong, says, "You really did a great job." Wong replies, "But I just stood there." "You did all the work." John says, "Yeah, and that was your job, wasn't it?" Wong agrees. Wong thinks about how he's heard other people get completely exhausted fighting those grubs, but this felt way too simple. He then looks at his reward, the magic stone. It's his first time seeing a magic stone up close. While checking it, he explains that magic stones are extremely important resources in the current industry. However, compared to earlier times, their prices have dropped a lot. Still, today, 100 grams is worth 500 yuan. Since Black Towers started appearing all over the world more than 20 years ago, most people generally know basic tower common sense. But then there's the Platinum Badge. Wong is confused because he's never heard of or seen something like this before. Even so, he just earned 500 yuan in only 3 minutes. John asks if he can watch dramas. Wong says sure and then suggests they eat. He brings out a lot of food and sets it in front of John. As soon as John smells it, he's shocked and says it's really spicy. Wong says no. I ordered this from my regular place because you said you can't handle spicy food. But John says no, it's not that. I just caught a spicy smell in my nose. Seeing this, Wong thinks this guy has absolutely zero tolerance for spicy food. They start enjoying their meal and John asks if Wong always talks this casually. Wong says, "Oh, you mean that. I learned all of this while hanging out with my previous summoner." Wong thinks it's like the influence of someone's ex-boyfriend. Except in John's case, it's the influence of an ex-summoner. John says if it makes you uncomfortable, I can fix it right away. Wong says no. It actually sounds pretty nice. Hearing that, they both start laughing again. After everything, Wong says that now it's completely certain. It's really not that dangerous. Or rather, maybe I should say, I can actually do this. Yes, I really can climb the tower. Then the next morning, he puts up a chart for himself, something called the Alpha Male's Daily Routine, which honestly even confuses me a bit when I look at it. But then he explains that he'll cover the convenience store job during the day and the charcoal grill restaurant at night. As for the day labor job he used to do in between, he's decided to quit that part-time work altogether. Instead, he'll come home and try climbing the tower with John. And honestly, the timing couldn't be more perfect. When he summons John again, John salutes him once more for the 5-star rating and says he doesn't even know what to do with himself anymore. Wong tells him that if there were 10 points, he would have given him a full 10 out of 10. Hearing this, John says he's really happy that Wong is satisfied. So Wong asks him if the satisfaction rating is really that important. John explains that yes, the better the rating, the better the benefits. For example, increased manifestation time, higher rank, and there's no need to even mention it. The chances of being summoned also increase a lot. After that, they enter the second round of the Black Tower. On the second floor mission, they have to defeat 10 quick-wit fatty grubs, which move around much faster. Wong is a little surprised and says that the second floor grubs are trickier because they keep running around and are much faster. But then he wonders what he's even supposed to do on the second floor. John smiles and says there's nothing they need to do here. I'll cut them all down and be back in just 3 minutes. Let me finish them quickly and then we'll head home. Hearing this, Wong says that if that's the case, they should eat chicken and drink beer tonight. John thanks him and starts throwing his daggers, wiping them all out easily with several loud explosions. Seeing this, Wong says he really went crazy again. With the second floor mission complete, Wong levels up again. As a reward, he gets a 200-gram magic stone. Clearing the S+ rank once more earns him another platinum badge. Seeing this, Wong says, S again? These allowances are way too easy. I can even go in and come back out before starting my morning part-time job. When they move on to the third floor, they have to defeat 10 cold fatty grubs. By now, Wong's landing and movement have improved a lot. As soon as they complete it, he levels up again and receives a 300-gram magic stone as a reward, along with yet another S clear rank and another platinum badge. They keep going like this, clearing the 4th floor and then the 5th floor as well, which has now become ridiculously easy for them. The system announces that he has collected 5 S rank platinum badges, triggering a special peak awakening. Wong is confused about what a special peak is, and then the announcement explains that because of this, he can now summon 2 people. As soon as Wong realizes he can summon 2 people, he becomes incredibly happy. His eyes start shining, and he says that this means he can have another person with him. On the other hand, John alone is already handling everything with ease. Anyway, the S-Clear rewards are honestly insanely good. It feels like a long battle where the further you go, the safer the path becomes. Now I'll have to use random summon once its cooldown ends. There are only 20 days left for that. Until then, I just need to be a bit careful. After 20 days, there'll be 3 of us. Or rather, I'll just enjoy my free ride while the other 2 break through S ranks for me. Tomorrow, we'll climb the 6th floor and step by step, I'll keep moving forward like this. On the other side, we're shown a scene at the Korea Awakening Management Administration. Inside one room of the building, 3 people are sitting together. One man looks troubled, thinking that today it'll ring again. But when? In the morning, afternoon, or at night? The woman standing beside him suddenly steps closer and says, "You're thinking about that announcement again, aren't you?" "I'm right, aren't I?" Startled, the man says, "Director Lee, how many times have I told you to stop trying to read people like that?" She replies that she couldn't help herself, she was just too curious. This man is the team leader of the Awakening team named Ji Wang, and the woman is the deputy director named Manga. Ji Wang asks if there's been any new announcement. She tells him yes, the 6th floor has been cleared with an SS rank. Hearing this, he says, "Again?" She adds that the Black Tower's global announcements keep playing over and over, and every time it's the same thing, an S rank clear. There's no doubt it has to be a single person who cleared from the first floor to the fifth floor, and whoever that person is must be terrifyingly powerful and incredibly talented. If this continues and they clear the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th floors as well, and if they keep clearing the higher floors with S ranks, before she can finish, the director slams his hand on the table angrily and says that both of them know very well Korea's highest record so far was only rank A. This man, Park Soo-ha, adds that until now, they didn't even know a higher rank than that existed. And now, on top of that, there's an S rank clear being announced globally. These days, inside international society, player neutralization has become pretty common. Behind the scenes, a lot of people get kidnapped without anyone even finding out. That's why, before any country finds out about that player or drags them away from us, I want you to find that player as soon as possible, so keep a close watch on all the new players. Then we're shown a scene 2 days later. Wong tells John that today they're going to clear the 8th floor. John says yes, you're absolutely right, while he's busy washing dishes. Wong thinks that they've been clearing one floor every single day without any trouble. Anyway, up to the 10th floor, it's basically the beginner zone. And so far, everything has been going completely smoothly. When they enter the 8th floor, they have to defeat 10 red thorn frog warriors, big green frogs that come hopping in, trying to attack them. One of them uses its long tongue to attack John, but John calmly swings his sword and cuts them down, finishing them off easily. Just like that, he completes the 8th floor mission as well. Because of that, Wong levels up again and gets an 800-gram magic stone. On top of that, he also receives the tower's executive healing potions. And since he clears it with another S rank, he gets yet another platinum badge. After returning, John tells Wong that he did really well. Wong replies that he didn't do anything at all, not even once. John says that just entering the tower is already the hardest part. Wong thanks him, saying that it's only because of John that they've been able to climb so easily so far. John replies that even so, he shouldn't let his guard down because the 10th floor was only for beginners. From now on, things might start getting difficult. Wong says that even then, they cleared it all in just 3 minutes. Wong thinks he should give John a present. He takes out some money and tells him that since he still has plenty of manifestation time left, he should go out, enjoy himself a bit, and eat something nice, but not cause any trouble. John immediately refuses. Seeing that, Wong is shocked and asks why. He says it took him a lot of courage just to make that offer. John replies that he can't leave the summoner even for a moment, so he'll just stay home and watch TV. Wong thinks that absolute obedience doesn't even apply to things like this. So Wong suggests ordering some chicken instead. John happily agrees, saying that sounds really good. Wong picks up the phone and starts ordering food, then says he'll check his rewards in the meantime. This time, he's gotten a new reward as well, the tower's executive healing potion. He thinks about giving it to John and also starts thinking about the magic stones. He wonders what he should do with them because he already has almost 3 kilograms in his inventory. If he sold all of it, it would be worth around 1.8 million yuan. So he seriously starts considering cashing them out. By now, it's been 10 days since he started climbing the Black Tower and he's already reached the 10th floor. While changing his clothes, Wong says it looks like he should quit his part-time jobs. At first, he only planned to check out what the tower was like, but now he's been climbing one floor every single day without missing a beat. Yesterday, they were on the 9th floor. The jungle man-eating crossflower was way easier than expected. Well, it was easy for John, not for him. Still, they cleared the mission very quickly. Because of that, he got another S-clear reward and a bonus. If he's being honest, it's unbelievably sweet. The way Wong is reacting now, it almost feels like he's forgotten that John is a crazy assassin who killed 3 people. Then, a pop-up appears saying that because John's satisfaction rate has been consistently 5 stars, his manifestation time has been increased by 1 hour. That means instead of 6 hours, he can now stay manifested for 7 hours. Wong is really happy to learn that the highest score was actually worth it. John also looks happy and says that now he can support him for 1 extra hour. Wong agrees, saying that it makes him feel a lot better too. After that, they start climbing the 10th floor. As soon as they enter, they find themselves in a dense jungle. Wong says that the moment they enter the 10th floor, he can really feel the recalibration of his physical abilities that started after entering the tower. That overwhelming strength and that mysterious mana filling his middle dantian. Because of this, he starts feeling like he's turned into a wild horse that can face anyone. Feeling like that, he tells John that he'll help him too now. John says that's completely out of the question. If you even get a scratch, I'd have to cut my own throat and smash myself into the ground. Wong tells him not to worry because he's really become a wild horse now. John tells him that even so, he should put his pride aside a little. Before he can say anything else, Wong suddenly starts feeling a strange pressure. When he looks in that direction, he sees a huge eyeball. His whole body breaks out in sweat. Suddenly, a massive mantis appears in front of them. making both of them look like ants by comparison. Panicking, Wong thinks, is this the monster of the 10th floor? How do other players even manage to kill something like this? Just thinking that makes his face go pale and he's completely drenched in sweat. But still, trying to protect his pride, Wong tells John that sending 2 people just to kill such a small creature doesn't really hurt a man's pride at all. John says there's no way a human's pride would be hurt by something like that. But Wong replies that no, his pride is genuinely hurt. So when the monster lets out a loud screech, Wong tells John to go ahead and finish it. As the mantis attacks with its huge claws, John instantly moves from his spot, dashes onto the monster's claws and starts swinging his swords with cold eyes. With several slashes, its arms are cut off and the monster is torn to pieces. Just like that, the 10th floor mission is cleared. Wong levels up again, and as a reward, he gets another magic stone weighing 1 kilogram. Clearing another S rank earns him yet another platinum badge. John lands stylishly, spinning his sword, and says, "There, it's done." Seeing this, Wong says that with another 1 kilo magic stone, he now has around 5 kilograms in total. And since he already received a peak from collecting 5 platinum badges, now he's collected 10 platinum badges. So let's see what I get this time. Wong excitedly stares at his status window, and then something new appears. It says that his summon can copy one of his skills. A list appears in front of him. Wong is confused and says, "Copying someone's skill?" As soon as John realizes what it is, he says, without any hesitation, "Quickly learn Shadow Step." Hearing this, Wong is confused. John explains that a skill copy option must have appeared. "I'm right, aren't I? So don't think twice. Learn Shadow Step right away." Wong asks why, and John replies that it's extremely convenient for escaping. "If anything happens to me, you can immediately get away and run." Hearing this, Wong realizes that John is really thinking about him this way. "I'm the kind of person who, more than anything else, only thinks about my own survival." The next moment, as soon as he acquires Shadow Step, it becomes clear that yes, Wong really is that kind of person who only thinks about surviving. With a serious look, he says that fast footwork is really important for combat too, but he wonders how it would actually work in real life. When he goes outside and tries using Shadow Step, it's really clumsy at first. He ends up moving around awkwardly, like clothes being flung around everywhere. It looks ridiculous, but it's honestly really fun, and he finds it genuinely funny. After practicing like this for a long time, when he comes back into his room, he collapses onto the floor, gasping for air. He says that if summoning works here, then this should work too. There's no consistency at all, none whatsoever. But then why isn't this working properly? John says he doesn't know what Wong is talking about, but whatever he said earlier is probably true. By now, it's already the 11th day since Wong started climbing the tower. He's on the phone and a voice says, "This is the Awakener Management Administration call center." Wong introduces himself and says that he recently awakened. Hearing this, they get excited and congratulate him on becoming a player. They say he must be confused, so ask if government support staff can come to his home. Wong agrees and gives them his address. They say they'll come as soon as possible. The narrator explains that for an ordinary person like Wong, calling the Awakening Management Administration so he could sell his magic stones was the bravest decision of his 25-year life. Then we're shown a scene at the Awakener Center. Lemming is walking toward a car. Jiwang is already sitting inside. He looks a little confused and asks about the Awakener who contacted them yesterday. Liming says she doesn't think that person is the one holding the S record. Jiwang asks, "David, does someone like that really exist?" She replies that they received another awakening request today. "So will you come with me?" Jiwang says yes, they have to find out who it is no matter what. And if it really is him, they'll bring him into their elite team at all costs, even if they have to lay all the administration's benefits at his feet. On the other side, Wong is busy cleaning and arranging his room so that anyone who comes will get a good impression. After a while, there's a knock at the door. The administration staff have arrived. Wong says he's here, opens the door, and welcomes them inside. Ji Wong introduces himself as the team leader of the administration, along with the deputy manager, Liming. He also mentions that she's a player too, so Wong should feel comfortable. Hearing that there's a woman here as well, Wong becomes even more nervous. Then Liming says, "Excuse me," and suddenly steps much closer to Wong. He's surprised at how close she is. She looks at him and says, "You're the one, right? The one who achieved the S record." Hearing this, Wong is completely shocked. He says what? Panicking, he thinks, what kind of nonsense is this? Do they have some kind of awakening identification method I don't know about? For now, I should deny it and act natural. But he completely freezes up and says, "Yeah, I think I've heard about that, but that's not me, yeah, comma. Yeah. Seeing this, Liming says that you noticed it. It's like a signal from some lie written in a book. Then Jiwang scolds her from behind and says, "How many times have I told you to stop asking people questions like that?" She replies, "All right, I'll be careful from now on." After that, Jiwang apologizes to Wong, and Wong says it's fine. He understands. He thinks to himself, so they were testing me. Then Jiwang opens his laptop and plays a video to clearly explain to Wong what the Black Tower actually is. So let me explain it briefly. It's completely black, its appearance is extremely ominous, and because of its overwhelming size, it can't be compared to any tall building on Earth. Black towers started appearing all over the world 20 years ago. After that, every country revealed them. They tried sending soldiers and scientists inside, but no one could even get close. Physically, it was completely impossible, as if there was some invisible barrier blocking everyone. So what exactly is the tower? That question was finally answered after players appeared. The tower is like a game-like structure that has to be climbed floor by floor. Outside the tower, players are just like ordinary people, but once they enter the tower, they gain incredible superpowers, abilities, and skills. They can also upgrade their equipment using the various rewards they obtain from the tower, and this contributes massively to the global economy. Another big question is, what happens if the tower isn't climbed? If climbing stops, chaos begins inside the tower and it slowly starts to collapse. So if a new floor isn't cleared within 6 months, a countdown starts, and the tower suddenly collapses. 3 years ago, Mumbai city in India completely disappeared because of this. Now let's look at our country's situation. Everyone knows that each country has 1 to 3 black towers. We're quite lucky that we only have one. Even so, Korea's black tower progression has been very smooth. After clearing the 65th floor, we're currently second in the world, right behind the United States, which has cleared the 66th floor. So you don't need to worry. Our society has many heroes known as players. Just like humanity once pointed toward a new continent, humanity is now trying to understand and explore the Black Tower. And now that you've awakened, you've also become a hope of this new era. So, you should register as an official player as soon as possible and become a hero too. Ji Wang then says that this was mandatory viewing material so that Wang could understand what this really is. Wang thinks to himself, what kind of ridiculous job is this? Ji Wang continues saying that he has a few questions to confirm that Wang is actually a player. Wang says yes, he is a player. He's been inside the tower and has cleared some floors. That's why he has these magic stones he's collected so far. Seeing this, Ji Wang says that makes things even easier. Then he asks how many floors Wang has reached. Wang answers, up to the 10th floor. As soon as they hear 10th floor, the two of them glance at each other. That's the same floor tied to the S-grade record. Liming's gaze sharpens as she looks at Wang, thinking maybe this guy really is the one. She asks Wang if he's heard about the recent issue called the Global Notification. Wang thinks he needs to stay natural. He says yes, he's heard about an S+ grade clear, but he doesn't know who did it. From what it sounds like, that person must be an amazing player. He says all of this in a stiff, robotic way. Seeing that, they tell him there's no need to be so nervous. Just looking at his face, it's obvious he's way too nervous. Way too nervous. After that, Ji Wang says alright and starts explaining the contract terms. The government manages players and divides them into two groups. The first is the elite group, and the second is the general group. The general group plans everything on their own and enters the tower on their own schedule. You can think of it like freelance work. On the other hand, the elite team is fully supported, maintains close relationships with the government's Awakening Management Administration, and has obligations to raid high-ranking floors. In return, they receive many kinds of support and benefits. One of those is personal protection outside the tower because all players become ordinary humans once they leave the tower. If you join the elite team, you'll also receive an annual base salary. Wang thinks that would only happen if it's revealed that he's the S record holder. If that gets exposed, endless interviews would drain his life, cameras would constantly follow him, and his personal life would be completely destroyed. Just thinking about it makes him panic. He'd honestly rather die than receive that kind of attention. Ji Wang says that's exactly why he thinks Wang should apply to the elite team, and that his raids would be recorded using the footage they provide. But Wang interrupts him and says he doesn't want to apply to the elite team. Hearing this, Ji Wang is surprised and asks why. Wang replies that he's perfectly satisfied being in the general group. Ji Wang says the conditions are much better with the elite team, but Wang answers honestly that he doesn't have any special talent. In fact, he's actually very scared. If I feel like I should stop on a certain floor, then I stop there. And I'm already really happy with whatever rewards I get along the way. They try to explain to him that there's no need to rush this decision at all and that he can think about it slowly, but he says no, he's already decided. Seeing this, Lemming lets out a disappointed sigh and says that, once again, they missed it. There are many people who stop at a certain point so they can safely farm and return. But this is the first time she's seen someone talking like this right in the middle of an evaluation. Someone this cowardly isn't qualified at all. Even if they help him apply to the elite team, he's the kind of person who would never be accepted. And more importantly, the elite team exists for only one purpose: to climb the tower. Ji Wang tells Wang that they respect his decision. Wang thanks him. Then Ji Wang asks if Wang can enter the tower once to show them, so they can confirm that he's awakened. Hearing this, Wang says, okay, but Ji Wang adds that it would be a waste. Since you can only enter the tower once a day if you're going in anyway, why not try clearing a floor while you're inside? Wong thinks about it and realizes that yeah, he can do that, but he's uneasy. He thinks they're still trying to confirm whether he really is an S rank holder or not. So he tells them it's fine, he'll try clearing it, but it'll take a lot of time, maybe even 2 hours or more. Liming tells him that's fine, it's their job anyway. There's no need for him to feel any pressure and he can take his time. Hearing this, Wong gets ready and says it'll take a while, so they should sit back, watch TV, and there are drinks in the fridge too. After saying that, he teleports away. Ji-Wong says that means he really has awakened. He then asks Liming what she thinks. She says she doesn't know about his talent, but he seems extremely cowardly. The way he talks and acts is really poor. She's sure he'll completely give up on the 11th floor. Ji-Wong is confused and asks why. Liming explains that she herself cleared the 11th floor before. That floor tests a player's fear because you have to face long-tailed tunnel centipedes. As he knows, they're not that hard to defeat and not particularly dangerous monsters, but you still have to kill 100 of them. Their appearance is truly disgusting. So do you really think someone who freezes up in front of people could face something like that? She's certain he'll retreat into the safe zone and abandon the mission completely. Ji-Wong agrees, saying her prediction seems completely right. He wonders if he should call the director and tell him that once again they came up empty-handed. Meanwhile, inside the tower, Wong summons John and looks excited when he sees the 11th floor mission. Defeat 100 long-tailed tunnel centipedes. After learning this, Wong is terrified. Of all things, centipedes? And 100 of them? John laughs and says he'll take care of all of them. There are about 100, right? At most, it'll take 5 minutes. But Wong tells him no, kill them as slowly as possible. Hearing this, John is confused. Wong explains that it needs to take more than an hour so their S-clear record gets broken. Because if he's being honest, there are eyes watching him in the outside world. So, as soon as he leaves the tower, he'll dismiss John's summon as well. Hearing this, John says okay, he understands. Wong thinks that honestly just entering the tower was enough, but he insisted on fully clearing it so that the SS class record holder's position would be wiped out by this meaningless record, and those eyes would finally stop watching him. When John starts killing the centipedes, his speed is still really fast. Wong shouts for him to slow down. John says okay, got it, and starts playing around instead. Seeing this, Wong feels relieved. Now the hunting speed is much slower than before. If it keeps going like this, it'll definitely take more than an hour. But before he can finish thinking, a huge centipede suddenly bursts out from under his feet. Wong panics as a massive centipede rises right beneath him. I think I should use my escape skill, but he's already falling and many centipedes are rushing toward him to attack. Seeing this, he says his body isn't moving at all. The moment John sees this, his anger explodes. In the next instant, he charges forward, slicing through the centipedes to save Wong. In his fury, he tears them all apart without stopping. He shouts that these filthy centipedes had the nerve to even touch Wong. Saying that, he keeps attacking every centipede that comes into view. When Wong finally realizes what's happening, he shouts for him to stop. John, you're killing them way too fast. I told you to take it slow. John apologizes and says that Wong's life was in serious danger, so he couldn't allow that. Hearing this, Wong says no. He worked really hard, but once again. But after a short while, he receives a notification and once again he has cleared it with an S grade. Along with that, he gets another platinum badge. They start teleporting out and he says, I'm sorry. Poor Wong looks extremely distressed now. He says, what am I supposed to do now? On the other side, they say that almost 5 minutes have already passed. By now, he must have completely given up and gone outside to sit down, but the very next moment, a pop-up appears in front of them saying that the 11th floor has been cleared with an S rank. And right after that, Wong appears in front of them. Seeing this, both of them are completely shocked and stunned. Liming says, this can't be possible. Ji-Wong asks her what happened. She tells him that the moment this player appeared, a pop-up showed up in front of her eyes saying the 11th floor was cleared with an S grade. Wong, who looks extremely troubled, says that he never wanted to go this far, but then he says that the two of them should just stay quiet for now. As soon as he says that, he summons John. Both of them are confused about what's going on. But before Wong can say anything to John, John steps forward and in a single swift move, slits both of their throats and kills them. Seeing this, Wong panics badly because once again ribbons are tied around their necks. He starts screaming, who told you to do this? Who told you to cut their throats? And they start calling out to Wong. Seeing this, he starts crying and says, please forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. Just then, Ji-Wong and Liming both call out to him asking what happened, and Wong snaps out of his thoughts. Ji-Wong tells him that he's completely fine and that it looks like he's sweating because of a cold. Wong says that he was just daydreaming without thinking. Then he says to himself, okay, I'm completely fine. Ji-Wong says, so let's start again. Our elite team really needs talent like yours. But Wong is still trying to act it out. He says, honestly, I feel like there's been a huge misunderstanding here. It's also possible that this overlapped with another player who cleared the 11th floor. Things like that can really happen. It's pretty amazing, right? I'm not wrong, am I? They say that the timing is just a little too perfect, but he still keeps denying it and says, no, it was really just a coincidence. Please forgive me for talking to you like this, but I'm definitely not the person you're looking for. Ji Wang looks frustrated and says, fine then. He takes out an envelope and explains that he had already prepared a contract for him anyway. But when Wang looks at the contract, he's shocked. He says, this is an elite contract. I asked for a general contract. Ji Wang says, no, this is on a completely different level from what you're talking about. This is a one-of-a-kind contract in the industry, also known as the Ultra Elite Contract. Under this, you'll receive an annual salary of 12 billion won. Real estate will be provided, and VVIP security protocols will be applied for your protection. Most importantly, you'll be immune to all restrictions and privileges. That means you'll be above every rule. It's basically like nobility. Right now, only Korea's #1 ranker gets benefits like this. And on top of that, all donation-related benefits are included as well. But even after all that, Wang refuses and says that if he doesn't get a general contract, he won't become a player at all. Hearing this, Ji Wang is even more surprised. He asks why Wang keeps refusing again and again. Wang explains that he really hates attention. He hates it. Whenever someone gives him attention, it feels like a huge burden on him. If someone approaches him in a clothing store, he never goes back there again. If someone at a restaurant says he's a regular, he never goes back there either. His heart feels unbearably heavy. They realize that, in short, he's extremely introverted. Wang continues, saying that he was only climbing the tower for fun and somehow reached the 11th floor. But his future is very uncertain. Even he doesn't know if he'll keep climbing further or not. Seeing this, Ji Wang says that for now, it would be better for them to step back a little. He says okay, he understands, and that he'll have a general contract prepared for him. But anyone watching this would feel completely frustrated. He tells Wang that he could just sign the elite contract right away and enjoy all the benefits. But an elite contract comes with equal responsibility. Even if you don't want to go to the upper floors, you'll still have to go. You can't refuse, because the team exists solely to climb the tower. And that's exactly why Wang rejected such a huge burden. He says he's perfectly fine as long as he can live his life comfortably. When they go and report this to their director, he shouts at them, asking how they could let this happen. The report they gave him and what they're telling him now don't match at all. You're saying the player is so cowardly that he doesn't even want to climb the tower. They reply that he's absolutely right, and they add that on top of that, he's also the same person who achieved the S rank. Ji Wang says, yes sir, that's exactly right. Hearing this, he shouts that he still doesn't understand what's actually going on. Ji Wang explains that judging by what he's seen, Wang's personality is genuinely very strange. The way he comes across, he seems like a really odd kind of great person. He says there's a possibility that they might have mistaken him for someone else. Liming immediately says that's absolutely not the case. The timing has been matching up far too perfectly for days now. Hearing this, Park Soo shouts angrily that if that's true, then this is an even more incredible talent. It doesn't matter how introverted he is, drag him into the elite team no matter what. Ji Wang replies that he understands and that he'll bring him into the elite team somehow. On the other side, Wang shouts back that absolutely not and starts acting like he's really angry, yelling at John. He says that everything got exposed because of him. John stands quietly and says, please forgive me. Wang thinks to himself that getting angry like this is actually really exhausting. Still, he warns John that if he ever tries something like that again, next time he won't show even a bit of mercy and will immediately unsummon him. After that, they enter the 12th floor. There, they have to defeat Beast Ice Snow Ice vassals. The atmosphere here is extremely cold. Wang reminds John that he knows he has to take it easy and go slowly. John says he understands. Seeing that response, Wang feels relieved. This time, his answer was right. I think I can trust him this time. If I keep clearing floors normally from the 12th floor onward, the management bureau will completely lose interest in me. But the cold here is far more intense than expected. Because of it, his nose, hair, and even his eyes start freezing. He says he came fully prepared for the cold, but it feels like he needs to endure even more than he expected. When John sees his condition, he panics and asks if he's okay. Then he shouts that if that's the case, he'll finish this quickly and take him straight to a warm room. Wang shouts back that he told him to go slowly, but John says that Wang's life is in much greater danger because of the cold, and he can't just watch him die like this. His life is at serious risk. Saying that, John starts slitting the throats of all the vassals and kills them with ease. By doing this, Wang ends up earning a total of 15 platinum badges. At his peak reward, he receives an item called an energy shield kit. It's actually a kind of golden bracelet. Seeing it, he says, an energy shield? When he puts it on, he's told that the energy shield will completely absorb any damage. damage, and after using it once, it can only be used again after 5 hours. Wong is shocked. When he activates it, armor made of energy starts covering his body. He says it practically feels like he's wearing a full suit of armor, one that no attack can get through. On top of that, the fact that he got this from a tower executive means he can use this energy shield in the real world too. And if he sells it on the market, he could make a huge amount of money. 2 billion, 3 billion, or even more. Should I sell it right now and retire from climbing the tower? No, wait. If I climb even higher, I might get even better benefits and rewards. Feeling excited, he asks John if he can also clear the 16th floor immediately with an S rank. John says he can clear it, that much is possible, but he can't guarantee it'll be an S clear. Hearing this, Wong wonders what he should do now. John is a bit confused about what's going on, while Wong is still thinking about the bracelet. Should I sell this? On the other side, at the Awakening Bureau, Park Soo asks how long it's been since the global announcement for the S-Clear record stopped. Liming replies that he cleared the 15th floor today. Ji-Wong says it looks like he's only cleared up to the 15th floor so far. Park Soo, looking troubled, says that God is truly cruel. Why would someone like this kind of talent to such a useless, cowardly player? Ji-Wong says it's true that the difficulty increases even more from the 16th floor onward, but he doesn't think player Wong would give up before trying to conquer it. If they just wait a little longer. Just then, his phone rings and he receives a message. He tells Park Soo that player Wong says he wants to come to the Awakening Management Administration. Hearing this, Park Soo is shocked. He adds that Wong said he wants to use the player shop. Park Soo says, the player shop? Is it really possible that he's been farming up to the 15th floor just to build up funds for new items? Ji-Wong agrees, saying it does seem that way. When they visited his house to verify his awakening, he didn't have any equipment at all. Park Soo shouts like a madman, saying, "How could I be such a huge idiot? I was criticizing player Wong without knowing the truth." He orders that as soon as player Wong arrives, give him any items he wants at giveaway prices. By now, it's been 15 days since Wong started roaming around the 15th floor. Hearing this, even John is shocked. He asks what Wong just said. Wong, lifting his t-shirt, says that he said he wants John to stab him with his dagger dot. And John says, almost in tears, "Why are you doing all this to me? If I've hurt you even a little, you can beat me half to death if you want, but please don't make me do this." Wong explains that he just wants to check whether the energy shield is working properly or not. It's not like he's asking John to kill him. So why is he making such a big deal out of it? Just try stabbing lightly with the dagger. But John starts shouting, "La la la, I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. Can you hear that? I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything." Seeing this, Wong says it's really frustrating. "Fine then, if that's how it is, I'll just do it myself." Saying that, he grabs the dagger and stabs himself straight in the stomach. The moment John sees this, his mouth just hangs open. He's completely shocked. And as soon as Wong realizes what he's done, he panics and shouts, "Shit, I stabbed myself without activating the shield." John starts crying and says, "This hand of mine hurt you. I'll cut it off right now." Seeing that, Wong shouts for him not to do anything like that. He quickly uses a healing potion and heals himself. After that, John shouts even louder, telling him never to even think about doing something like that again. Wong says, okay, I get it. Now go and finish your hunt." John resumes his hunt, slitting the throats of all the shadow-like creatures there and killing them one by one. Watching this, Wong says that John will probably finish this hunt within 10 minutes. Until then, he thinks he should practice his skill while waiting. He uses Shadow Step and feels that this time, he moves forward smoothly and effortlessly. Seeing this, he says, "What kind of feeling was that? It felt exactly like that. Now I understand why John told me to learn this skill." As he keeps practicing properly, he actually starts enjoying it a lot. He keeps moving around while practicing. By accident, a goblin appears in front of him. Even the goblin looks confused because it was hiding from John. Seeing this, Wong says, "A goblin? Is it trying to hide from John?" The goblin gets scared and suddenly jumps at Wong to attack him. Wong panics, stretches his hand forward, and activates the shield. When the goblin tries to slash him, nothing happens to Wong. Wong shouts that it really scared him and kicks the goblin hard in the face, sending it flying far away. Just then, John notices this happening and rushes over. He says that was a really close call and kills the goblin in a single strike. Before Wong can say anything, John suddenly realizes something and rushes toward him, shouting, "Are you okay? Did you fight a goblin? What were you thinking? Did you get hurt anywhere?" Saying that, he starts checking Wong thoroughly. John then gets angry and shouts that he keeps telling him again and again that he doesn't need to be unnecessarily brave. Doesn't he understand that? Wong grabs his ears and says, okay, I get it. Wong explains that after farming up to the 15th floor over these 15 days, his skills have improved a lot. On top of that, the total weight of his magic stones has increased to around 22 kilograms, with a market value of about 11 billion won. Ji-Wong is very happy when Wong calls calls him. He says thank you very much for calling. Wong says hello and tells him that he wants to visit the player shop. Ji-Wong says sure and that he'll send some people to bring him over right away. But Wong says no, he'll come on his own. Ji-Wong tells him there's no need to feel burdened, as this is their standard protocol for every contract player. Wong says if that's the case, then fine, he'll wait. When Wong arrives below their building, a long, luxurious car is parked there, and Wong gets out of it, feeling a bit awkward. Ji-Wong tells him it's been a long time and sincerely welcomes player Wong to the administration. Wong greets him and thinks to himself that no matter how he looks at it, this is definitely VIP treatment. He places his hand on the scanner and successfully completes his registration. Ji-Wong tells him that now he can visit the shop anytime he wants without needing to call ahead. He also offers to show him the interior. Wong laughs and says there's no need. He'd like to take his time and look around on his own. Wong enters the player shop and says, so this is the player executive shop. It really looks incredibly luxurious. But why doesn't he see any other customers here? Or is it because the items here are insanely expensive? First, he decides to sell his magic stones. When he hands them over, the staff tells him their market value is around 11 billion. The money will be deposited into his account within 3 days. Wong asks if he can use the money immediately. He's told that it's completely possible. Feeling a bit worn out, he says, shopping is really tiring. Let's just buy something quickly so I can go back home. On the other side, Park Soo asks Ji-Wong if player Wong's shopping has started without any issues. Ji-Wong says yes. It looks like he's wandering around inside right now, and they've informed the other players that the shop is closed for the day. Park Soo asks about pricing, and Ji-Wong replies that he told the staff to apply a 90% discount on everything sold to him. Seeing his scared nature, I feel that if we give him any item for free, it might shock him even more and he would immediately refuse it. Hearing this, Park Soo says that he did a really good job. Now Wong finishes his shopping and returns home. He buys a weapon for himself, an advent marquee that costs 2 million won, and leather walkers worth 3 million won. Even after seeing this, Wong thinks that he's heard standard items usually start at 20 or 30 million won. And the way team leader Ji-Wong personally came out to meet him makes it very clear that no matter how he looks at it, he's definitely being given special treatment. Truly, nothing in this world is free. Even so, it still feels like a huge shock to him, but he manages to leave the place safely. And the fact is, he can now cover his entire defense with just one piece of equipment. And that's all thanks to the energy shield, which works like a full suit of armor and has replaced all other defense gear slots. And all of this happened only because of Park Soo. Before, he had promised himself that he would never become greedy when he started climbing the tower. But Park Soo awakened his true devil and made him greedy. The next day, when he summons John, John salutes and says that it's an honor to be summoned for him again, and that today they're going to farm the 15th floor. Wong replies that no, let's go straight to the 16th floor. Hearing this, John is a little confused. Wong then explains that the cooldown on his random summoning has ended. Hearing this, John becomes happy and says, then let's summon another person. Wong starts chanting some strange incantation. Abracadabra, gilly gilly choo. As soon as he activates the random summon, a man begins to manifest in a burst of energy. His shadow starts growing bigger and bigger, so much that his size keeps increasing far beyond normal. The one who's manifesting breaks through the ceiling and rises above it. Seeing this, Wong panics badly and says, who did I just summon? And what's going to happen to my security deposit now? Poor guy's house is getting destroyed.